I get a lot of calls here from people who tell me, oh, Tom, you've got to have children. You've got to. Because who's going to take care of you when you're a lonely old man? Who's going to do it? Tom, you've got to rethink this. You've got to have kids. You've got to. How often do I hear this? Well, you hear it along with me. But not only do I hear it on the radio, I hear it in person. I hear it from people I know. I hear it from people I meet in the street. I hear it all the time. People tell me that if I don't jump into the procreation race, that there will be nobody to take care of me when I'm old. Now, there are probably many of you morons out there who went out and procreated for this reason. I mean, you realize there was a time 100 years ago when people lived on the farm and they needed people to pull the plow and clean out the barn. And so they just kept procreating until they had a full staff. But those were the old days. Now we go to the supermarket and buy shrink-wrap meat. Our produce comes from the Green Giant. We're not out picking the fields. We're not out shoveling anything. We're not out there trying to staff an entire farm full of people. We're just not. There's no need to have all those children for that purpose. And now we get to the worst idea of it all, the idea that you're going to have children so that they will function as the Visiting Nurse Association. Oh, God, no. I mean, is that what you really want? You don't know what kind of children you're going to get. You might get children who are wonderful, fantastic, and in every way as marvelous as you think you are. By the way, we don't think you're so marvelous, but that's our opinion. But then again, I wonder who took care of Adolf Hitler's mom when she got old. Where is Saddam Hussein's parents? How they doing? Right? Charlie Manson, he's busy going to parole hearings. He has no time to take care of his folks. You never know what kind of kids you're going to get. It's a crapshoot. And you could spend your entire life working and slaving, working to save up, to pay for a house that's large enough, for prenatal care, to paint the nursery, for baby furniture, baby clothing, food. Of course, the hospital bill when your girlfriend or your wife goes into labor. And then all those costs that stack up over the years, orthodonture, college, ballet lessons, and whatever. And then after you're done doing that, you can get the result that many of the parents of the last generation have gotten, which is children who are self-centered, who care primarily about themselves and their own development. Have you heard some of these stories recently? About children who, went to those schools where no team wins in the soccer game, right? They never keep score. Everybody's a winner. Nobody's a loser. Everybody is told how wonderful they are, and they're constantly being reinforced with how great they are. And what is happening is now these children are becoming adults. And guess what? They believe everything they were told. And they believe they're so wonderful they don't owe anything to anybody. They've got a complete sense of entitlement. That's what the recent stories have been saying. Merely having children guarantees you nothing. And imagine the disappointment that many parents feel after they spend all their time and energy raising children, giving up opportunities, reducing their lifestyles, only to find out that their kids are selfish, self-centered, What do you call that? Slackers? There's a lot of those around. There's a lot of those around. I say, as far as having children, what's in it for me? And the answer? Nothing. If I need to be around the love of children, I can be around my 7-year-old nephew, Ryan. He's my brother's son. He is wonderful. I love him, and I love spending time with him. I love talking to him on the phone. I love when he sends me a text message at 7 years old. He knows how to do that. I love seeing him. I love playing video games with him when we hang out together. I love taking him to ball games, hockey games. Just having a conversation with him is great. But when I'm done having fun with Ryan, who takes care of making sure he goes to the bathroom or goes to bed on time? Who makes sure he goes to school 180 days a year? Right? Who makes sure that he goes to the dentist, the doctor? Who stays home with him when he gets sick? Right? Who catches diseases from him that he brings home from school? That's right, his parents. I don't get any of that stuff. I just skim off the cream. I get all the good stuff. And I readily admit it. Don't ever get the idea that I hate children. I love kids, and I mean that in every sense of the word. Love. I love them. Love talking to them. I love their opinions. I love hanging out with them. I like seeing how they think. I like seeing how they adapt to new technology. I mean, there's nothing bad about kids, nothing. But you know what's bad about kids? The responsibility. And why do I need to take on any more responsibility? I've got enough responsibility. I've got real estate. I've got investments. I've got a very busy career. Do I really need to be able to check and need to be checking and seeing whether a kid took his bowel movement at the right time? No. No interest in that. Hey, being a good parent is a great skill, and congratulations to everybody who does it well. But for some reason, one of the illnesses that parents suffer from is the idea that the rest of us need to feel the same joy they do. We all need to have the exact same responsibilities and concerns that they have. But you know what? For me, my biggest concern is enjoying my life. Because you know what? I am selfish and self-centered, and you know what? So is everybody else. By the way, everybody does what's good for them. Don't tell me I'm the only one who's selfish and self-centered. People who have children because they think the kids will be attractive. Based on what? Based on the way they look. That's right. Honey, we're so pretty. We're so handsome. Can you imagine the children we would have? What is more self-centered than that? What is more self-centered than people who think they've got life figured out and they need to pass on the joy of living, the joy of life, the 10 Commandments, and whatever other rules and regulations exist in their world to another generation? It's nothing but ego and self-centered behavior. And I'm not even attacking self-centered behavior. Selfishness. You know what? We're all like that. And people who have children are no less. Excuse me 1 second while I press the button. Thank you. People who have children are no less selfish or self-centered than people who don't. We all do what fits our lifestyle. We all do what fits our ability. Some people who have children because, well, let's face it, they boned their girlfriend in high school and partied all the time and weren't paying any attention and got lousy grades, and they were lucky if they get into a community college, and then they ended up going to some trade school or some tech school or something, and they end up doing some gun cleaning. Remember that commercial with Sally Struthers on TV that advertised gun cleaning? Gun repair? Yeah. Some of you guys do that. So you have children, and it fits your lifestyle. Why would I want to do that? I'm a self-made multi-millionaire with a great career, all the freedom in the world to do anything I want, go anywhere. Why would I want to reduce myself to only being able to go to vacations at Legoland or Disney World when I can go anywhere? Are you aware that pretty soon I'm going on a vacation? I'm going to Burgundy and Champagne. By the way, those are not products. Those are cities. Those are places. I am going on a vacation where I'm going to taste wines where they are made in the region of Champagne, the region of Burgundy. You don't take children there. You know how much it costs to go on a vacation like that? It's $20,000 per person. You don't take kids there. You take kids to SeaWorld. You get a hotel room down the block in San Diego. You take the kids out for waffles in the morning. Look, I know what it's all about. My brother gives me reports from the front. I know how this works. But you know what? I don't have to do that. I don't have to limit my life to that. I have the option of going out and doing whatever I want. Why would I want to take the chance on having children who turn out to be miserable? We haven't even gotten into the possibility that children will be born deformed, disabled. They would be born mentally retarded. And I don't say this lightly. I don't say this facetiously. I had an uncle who was mentally retarded, my father's brother. And he had the mentality of a 15-year-old right up until he died at 61 years old. That's in the family. Why would I want to take a chance on something like that? I'm sorry, it's not very appealing. I don't mean to offend the people who have retarded family members, but I had one myself. And nothing convinced me more that you're playing Russian roulette every time you spin the fertility wheel. You don't know what's coming out. You might hit on bankrupt. You never know. Now, speaking of this, speaking of raising children with the purpose in mind of trying to get caretakers for when you're older. Speaking of that, listen to this story from Dayton, Ohio. This is great. Police arrested a 34-year-old woman on a felony charge of, and I didn't know this was a crime, failure to care for a disabled person, after authorities found the woman's 63-year-old mother on Saturday, March 22nd, sitting in her own feces, suffering from insect-infested wounds. Not making this up. Lisa McDevitt was in the Montgomery County Jail on that charge, and another charge of child endangerment stemming from having her 7-year-old daughter living in the apartment that Dayton police said was in deplorable shape. The mother, Sharon McDevitt, remained in critical condition Monday, March 24th at Miami Valley Hospital. A police dispatcher said the incident started about noon on that Saturday when a woman called for an ambulance to report that her mother was suffering a seizure at her apartment in the 200 block of Ritchie Street in Dayton, Ohio. Dayton Police Sergeant Tom Flanders said that when medics arrived, they found the apartment extremely filthy and filled with cockroaches, feces, and maggots. You got to have kids because who's going to take care of you when you get old? Maybe somebody like this. It says here, Flanders said veteran investigators said conditions in the apartment were, quote, the worst they'd ever seen. Sharon McDevitt, this is the mother, is disabled and totally unable to care for herself, Flanders said. He said she had several medical conditions, including diabetes, and any one of them could have been life-threatening. Add to that the condition she was living in, and it was clear that this was a very serious situation. Lisa McDevitt was responsible for providing care for her mother, he said, but apparently was providing zero care. When police arrived, can you believe this story? Huh? Seriously. Outrageous stuff. Look, you don't need to hear any more about this. The bottom line here is that we have a situation here where people think that by having children, that they are going to eliminate all of the problems of getting older. You can have somebody to take you to the store, somebody to get your diabetes medication, somebody to drive you to the doctor, somebody who's going to drive you around when you can't drive your car anymore. And granted, there are some people who do all of those wonderful things for people. But I must say that there's a lot of people like this chick in Dayton, Ohio. There's a lot of chicks who, I must say, or a lot of men and women for that matter, who couldn't be bothered. Why would you give your life up? Why would you have children and roll the dice that these people will eventually do you well when you get older? Let's say hello to Darren on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello, Darren.
Thank you. You have saved my life. You saved my life since I was 18. But anyways, I got to admit, second time caller, these parents that have children, I think are selfish. Really and truly. Like, I really and truly think that they're selfish. Why? There's so many kids that are out there that need parents that need adopting, that the parents that were selfish enough to go and have the kid and then give it up. Those parents need to realize that there's kids out there that need adopting, that need loving and stuff like that. Why can't they do that?
Well, because it isn't about selfless love. It is about ego. It is about having a baby that looks like you.
Right. See, that's what it is. It's about having a kid that looks like you, that says it's mine, that I made it. It makes me mad, Tom. It really does. And only the stupid people are breeding.
Well, that's always been true, hasn't it? And we hope to keep it that way.
It is. Well, Tom, I really wanted to, tell you that and let some other people think about, all the kids out there that actually need a loving home and stuff. But I really want, to tell you that you saved my life since I was like 18. You showed me the ways. You're master, man. Master. I want you to take me out Kobe style with the Snoop Dogg.
I can do that. Say hello here to Michael on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Michael.
Second time caller, mate. Just wanted to say that I agree with an aspect of the subject right now. I've always thought about, wanting children, from as early as I can remember on a personal note. But personally, now that I'm 25 and, I wouldn't even consider wanting to have children until I've got my life sorted out. You know what I mean? Like, I think children need to be earned. It's like hot woman in Vegas. You've got to earn the right. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I do. Now, for me, I just don't see any reason. For me, I see no reason to ever do it. I don't think it's necessary that everybody have kids. For me, why would I want to give up the life I have traveling? I have a vacation home. I have places to go, things to do. I've got a great job. I make a lot of money. Children make you poor, man. Are you kidding me?
Exactly. I mean, I'm poor myself now trying to figure out my own life. I can't even imagine being so irresponsible to be as arrogant to, give in to the fear of making myself feel better that I've procreated before I'm dead. I mean, you need to earn the right. If everyone earned the right to be a parent, it would just be a better world. But, that's pretty idealistic.
Well, that's never going to be that way because then the poor and the stupid who do most of the breeding wouldn't be allowed to breed.
Yeah.
And you're not supposed to say that, by the way. That's politically incorrect, but you're not supposed to say that. But I don't care. I say it anyway.
But that's what I love about you, mate.
Of course.
I mean, it's just what you do is so directly truthful that, like, I'm just hooked every day. I got to listen. I'm a messenger. I listen every day. Love your show, man. And I just wanted to, not take up too much of your precious time. And so, one day, personally, hopefully, when I've got, $1 million in my account, then maybe I'll consider having kids at that point. But, until then, I got to get my life sorted. But,
I've had $1 million in my account for years, and it's never enough. Believe me. Thank you, Michael. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. This is Sean on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Sean.
Hey, I absolutely agree with the subject. I had to call today because I kind of went through this myself. Basically, you could say I was the loser son. Went to the University of Greenbud, like you had mentioned before.
Yes.
But my sister, who had her career together, herself together, kind of very self-centered, ball-busting bitch, as you talked about before, along with my mom. But that's another story. But basically, while my dad was dying with cancer, she decided to, he thought she'd be there because she was the one who had her life together. Went on her honeymoon for 3 weeks. Actually, threw a wedding. My dad was too sick to even go to the wedding. I refused, and his whole side of the family refused. Before she went on her honeymoon, she told my dad, actually, don't die, Dad. Wait for me, as this man's writhing in pain, holding on to see his daughter again. And actually, on the day of his funeral, she went to, she's was a professional fighter, went to a boxing match, which everyone told her, don't do this, don't do it. And she went ahead and went and had her fight. And needless to say, instant karma, was like knocked out in a minute and a half in the first round.
There we go.
Loss of her career.
Right. Well,
so I can just, what you're talking about, yeah, I mean, we're selfish people, and but I mean, I was the one, I stepped up, who was a total loser, and I stepped up, and I went through all that awful mess and watched him wither away, but I stood there, I guess the one who wasn't supposed to or couldn't be depended on, but yeah, you never know what kind of kid you're going to get, and as far as the mentally ill issue, I agree with that too. Kind of been with my girlfriend for 8 years. She has a mentally ill brother, and neither of us want to have a kid because of that possibility.
Good thinking. At least you are thinking.
Yeah, and you know what? You've done a lot for me. I just want to say, as far as getting my life together and getting my head on straight, you're kind of like a support group out there for me, and I want to thank you for that. And see if you could take me out, Don't Tase Me style.
Oh, okay. Here you go. Stephen on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
How you doing, Tom?
Great.
First-time caller, short-time listener, but I have to agree with everything you say. Just because of the fact that, you are a wealthy man, and for that, I applaud you, definitely. But for the middle-class people, me, myself, I just had a little girl, and I was the same way. I didn't want to have kids. It was actually an accident. But, it was an accident that changed my life. And, having my little girl look at me, I don't think it's so much about, having a little girl or having a kid that has, your looks. I don't really think that has to be an issue at all. And as far as, having a kid that, is possibly mentally retarded, I guess you do kind of take that chance at life.
Not kinda.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. You are taking that chance. And, I was fortunate to get a beautiful, healthy baby. But as far as, you yourself not wanting to have kids, I don't think that's selfish at all. You're at a standpoint in your life where you can do anything that you want.
But not only that, having children does not guarantee you caretaking at an older age. It doesn't. These people are misguided at best.
Oh, no, whoever says that is, is retarded
Idiots.
themselves.
They are retarded. That's right, they're retarded.
I think that's the most absurd thing I've ever heard. I would think, my dad's always told me that, but I always, looked at that as a joke. I didn't take them literally. And those who take them literally, it's, all right, you don't know what your kid's going to grow up to be. You don't know if your kid's going to grow up to be money. You don't know if your kid's going to grow up to be a loser. You just, you got to stand by them and give them that guidance. And
may I ask what college you went to?
I did not go to a college.
There we go. So you were busy boning your girlfriend without condoms?
Yes, sir.
So it was not an accident.
No, yeah, it definitely wasn't an accident. I was, not taking any precautions at all.
Right. So the point you prove here is that it is those who are irresponsible. Some are stupid. Some are poor. But those are the ones who are breeding. They're the ones doing most of it.
Yeah, those are the ones that, I definitely...
These are the people who are smoking weed in high school and boning their girlfriend and not thinking about what's going to happen after next month.
Yeah, exactly.
Or who say, you know what, my dad, he's a gardener, and I'm going to be a gardener, and my son's going to be a gardener, and that's pretty much it. Those are the people having kids.
Yeah, well, I have big dreams for myself right now. I just started a clothing company back in 2003. That's slowly getting up off the ground, but, that's kind of what I want to do with my life. But right now I work at a warehouse,
Yeah, where do you get capital to start a clothing company?
You really don't. You just hope for that lucky break.
Yeah, but see, again, you think like my family used to think, My family was a bunch of lottery players. My dad used to buy tickets to the Irish sweepstakes, which it's not even legal to win the Irish sweepstakes in the United States. That didn't stop him.
My dad's the same way. You can't win the
people
lottery.
say, well, if one day I ever won in Las Vegas, I'd buy a business. I mean, pal, let me tell you something. Even if you had the money to start a business, out of all business, 80% of them fail.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All small businesses, 80% of small businesses fail. And a lot of them have capital, which you don't.
Right.
So the odds are your biggest hope in life is becoming the manager of the plant where you work.
That's true.
And you're competing to get that job.
Yeah.
The reason you did not go to college is what now?
I went to college for a little bit.
But you like smoking weed and boning your girlfriend more, and so you stopped going?
No, I never smoked weed.
You like boning your girlfriend more than going to school?
I did, yeah. I did like doing that.
Right. And you saved yourself $11 by not buying a box of condoms.
Yeah. Well, I was already engaged to my girlfriend. You know, we were already going to, start a little family of ourselves.
Why would you do that before you have a career going?
Love is blind.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I should have listened to you a long time ago, Tom.
Well, now the truth comes out. There's so much for that. Let me go to Carlos on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, how are you?
Good.
Hey, listen, I'm a first-time caller. I've only been listening to the show for a couple of days. But on this topic, I'm a Latino male, and one of the things that I realize is that we usually start having kids when we're young. And I honestly think that it's a cultural thing because I'm 22 years old, and my mother's always heckling me about not having kids. You know, when is my grandkid going to come show up? And I told her, you're not going to get a grandkid. You know, and she always says the same thing. A man is not nothing without a wife and kids, and I just don't believe that.
You're right.
And, I just want to say to all Latino males out there, like, look, you don't have to live to the stereotype. You don't have to live to the standards of other people, especially the expectations that your own people have for you. Don't have kids if you're not ready for them. I mean, I know people who are, black, white, that had kids way too young. I got a good friend of mine right now who's struggling with a job, and he's living in Palmdale because he was not ready to have a kid.
Some people should never have a kid. They should enjoy their lives.
Right. And I completely agree with that, and I wish more people knew, and hopefully there's a lot more people tuning in and listening to you right now.
Thank you for that, Carlos. I appreciate the call. Here's Tony on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Tony.
What's up, man? What's going?
Just doing my thing here, do a little radio show.
That's cool. That's cool. It's the first time I get through, man. Long-time listener.
Thank you.
I think my opinion is 18, whether you're a man or a girl, you got to go. 18. I left the house when I was 16. My dad told me, you know what, you're growing up, you're a man now, and you got to do your own life. You got to go your own way. You have to have kids. You got to teach them right. And if you keep on having them there at the house, they won't know what to do. They want you to support them your whole life.
Now, wait a minute, Tony. You're 28, you have kids?
Yeah, I got kids. I got a little girl, she's 9. I got a little boy, he's 3, and the other one is 2. It's another boy.
Why did you have a kid at 19?
Child is stupid. Never heard your radio show?
There we go.
Until one day my friend put on your show, and I was listening to it, and I got the point. Now I'm stupid for having a kid at 19. I should have waited. I shouldn't even have kids. I should have just enjoyed my life while I had a chance.
Are you married?
I'm not married. I got two different relationships.
Hey, watch your mouth. We're on the air.
Oh, sorry.
Hey,
yeah,
listen.
But I did.
So what do you have? 3 kids by 3 different women?
No, I got him. A little girl she has 1, and the other one has the 2 boys.
Why?
I don't have child support. I take care of my kids my own way and take care of them, pick them up when I have to.
Ever heard of a condom, Tony?
Yeah, but like I had this relationship, my last relationship, when I thought I was gonna be there for. I thought I was just gonna be there permanently, but
But that's not the point. You have to get an education. You have to have money. You got to put money away. You got to plan.
Yeah, now I see it that way. I was childish. I mean, I just wanted to be. I just thought I was gonna have a family and just be there and have my kids. And
watch them grow up and everything, but now it's just different.
Having kids is like having an expensive automobile that you can't afford.
Yep. But, I mean, a few years are going to go by, and then that's it. My kids will be grown, and I'll enjoy my life from there.
But wait a minute. You're 28. Your youngest is 2. That means you will be free at 44 years old, if then.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's too late now. I can't do anything about it now, you know.
But you keep doing it.
No, I stopped. I have to move on now and face reality.
Why didn't you face reality earlier?
Like I said, I was childish. Just trying to have a girl and just try to be there for them and my kids, but I don't know. Screwed up.
So what do you do for a living, Tony?
Now I'm a carpenter. I install wood floors for houses, boats, casinos, anything.
How much do you make per year, average?
About 60.
That's to support 4 people at least.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, I'm there for my kids. I don't pay child support, or I don't have the baby moms on my back every day telling me to pay them or give them money. You know, I just take care of my kids, pick them up on the weekends, and that's it, take care of my business. Then from then, drop them off and go see girls.
Go see girls?
Yeah, I mean, you know, just
without a condom?
Use a condom this time, you know.
Oh, now you'll use a condom.
Yeah, now I use a condom. I see what I have now on my back.
Now, you never heard of condoms, or you just thought that your sperm didn't work, or what was the deal?
No, I just enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it too much.
And now you're going to pay for it for the rest of your life.
Yeah. No, well, actually not for the rest of my life. Just, you know, as soon as my kids turn 18, I mean, they choose their own life, the way they want to go, the way they want to live. If they want to take care of themselves, that's their problem.
Well, you know, Tony, you could have gone to college. You could have made something of yourself.
Yeah, I thought about that, you know, after I messed up, you know. I mean, it's not really too late, but it's something that's going to take me a while, you know, to accomplish different things now in my life that I want to do.
Ouch.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you for that. Jesus. They're killing me.